Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a small list of stuff to get done in order to get this thing cranking. So currently working on the wiring. We're not filming that this time. Apologize for that, but it's a time crunch and wiring is really hard to film. So we'll have to get it on the next one. But a couple big things. So we're running a standalone setup on this. So we got to build the whole wiring harness ourselves, and the crank sensor we want to put down here. That means we'll have to mount a crank sensor as well as a trigger wheel. So we'll get that going, and then this is what we were using with crank sensors here. We weren't getting a very clean timing like in the computer off of it, so we're going to end up capping this and just run the one on the crank, and that way it's nice and simple and easy, and it works on my rig and a couple other ones I've done. And then we have to do the turbo oiling, which we got to do the feed. It's going to be from down with the pressure port, and we got to do a drain, which has to be gravity, so we're going to go down to the pan for that. We were hoping to do it into the valve cover, but the turbo's too low, so that's not going to work. And then also, so we don't roach the power steering pump, we're going to have to plumb the steering entirely, which will be nice because it'll turn. So other than that, we don't have to get it just to run, but we want to do the air filter and the intercooler. We don't have to do that for it to run, so we may skip that just before getting it running, but we're in here, we might as well just start knocking all this engine based stuff out. So let's get to work. All right, so we need to put a trigger wheel on here, and this one does bolt on the outside, but it spaces it out, the thickness of this. So I made this little tool here that'll go on a drill press, and I don't have a lathe, so put it in a drill press, and then I'll grind it down to the size of this, and that will allow me to sink it down, weld it in, and then I'll give us the trigger wheel without spacing the belt forward. And now the trigger wheel fits nice and tight around this. Don't recommend this, but hey, if it works, right? It's not dumb if it works. So to get leveled out with this here, and then this pulley will drop right back down, and we'll have the trigger wheel between. Got that all welded in. Now we just gotta bolt the other pulley on, so put this on the engine, and then figure out our trigger wheel space, or the crank sensor. All right, we got the pulley bolted back up, and it looks like it belongs there. Pretty happy with that. There's still a slight little gap there, so the pulley is fully seated and not going to be causing any belt issues. All right, so now that that trigger wheel's all done, we need to pull the belt off of here for the power steering accessory belt, and swap the cranks out. We'll probably have to pull this stuff out to do that, but that way we can get this on and start building the crank mount. All right, we got the crank pulley swapped out. Now we got the trigger wheel on there, and then we're gonna have to build a bracket from probably these two bolts here coming out to hold the crank sensor. So we'll either do it off this side or the other side, but probably this side, because the other side, the belts will be it'll be inside the belt. So if a belt breaks, it'll rip it apart. It'll be a little safer on this side. So let's see if we can make something happen. All right, so this is the Hall sensor we're going to be using. This one is tabbed, so that means it's not adjustable. So we're going to have to essentially mount it right in there and make sure that our gap is good so that it'll pick up readings. So we got to make a bracket that holds it right where we want. Alright, so we got this cardboard mocked up. We're going to build that piece first, and then we'll figure out the other piece out here. But we can choose steel or aluminum. This is an aluminum piece, so if I can find some aluminum that'll work, I'll use it. Otherwise, we'll just make it all out of steel. Alright, so this is going to be the tab coming out, and then I got the bracket on there already. I ended up using steel because didn't have any aluminum that was thick enough. You don't want this to move because this is what gives you the timing for the engine. Also, I wanted to drill and tap into here so that we don't have to put like a nut insert or anything. That way it's just a little bit stronger. But we need a thicker aluminum to do that. We didn't have any, so we're using steel. But this should work really well. Kind of seen it on the time lapse there, but it'll end up going somewhere like that, straight on in there, and then we'll probably end up adjusting the backside once we get the clearance dialed. Alright, so we got a bolt in there, threaded it, and mounted it. So now we just got to figure out the placement on the bracket for the depth and tack it in. I don't want to ruin the sensor, so we'll have to pull it first and then pull the whole bracket and weld it out. Alright, so we got the air gap set. We just used some feeler gauges and got it tacked in. So now we can pull it out, and we'll just use the TIG welder and weld this up all nice. Alright, got that all welded up. Now we just gotta wait for it to cool and we can throw it on and the crank sensor's done. Now we got the crank sensor all mounted back up and spun the crank all the way around, and all the teeth clearance are the same, nothing's hitting it, so it should be good. We might have to make a little bit of minor adjustments, which we can add spacers here if we need to. Hopefully that's not the case, but if need be, we have a little bit of room for adjustment and bending this before we gusset it. So once the computer system's all hooked up, we'll be able to set all that information and see what the trigger's doing. draining out the oil so we can pull the pan, and that way we can put the drain bung in for the turbo. Alright, so for the oil drain, there's a baffle in here. The oil pickup goes down in here, so we're gonna drop this fitting here below the baffle. So that's where it's gonna go. Just gotta drill a hole. Alright, so we got this all fitted and cleaned up. Now we're going to weld this in real quick. Alright, got that fitting all welded in. Now the turbo drain can be plumbed. Alright, so we're going to use these 90s right off the intercooler on each side. And then we are going to have to get an adapter 90 off of here from the 2-inch to the 3-inch and run it down below. And then this one we'll have to build the tube to the intake. Alright, I got the first side built out. We just got to get this all tacked up and then weld it together. And then this side, I'll film the process of it. Basically just pie cutting pieces into place.
Alright, so now that we're waiting on some parts for the intercooler setup, we decided to pull the motor and we're gonna clean up this engine block, install some new parts on it, and get this ready to go back in for not the last time, but close to the last time, so we can do some final wiring, ensure that it runs, and then as soon as it's running, pull it and paint everything. Alright, we got the engine tore down just about as much as we're going to tear it down. It's dirty. It was rock crawled with for about a year, never cleaned because, you know, why do that? But I gotta get it all clean before it goes into the new rig. I get a new, better pressure oil pump and a dual timing chain cover set, and I want to run all the turbo oiling lines before we put it back in the truck.